Hey, it's Dunstan, and I heard some really sad news this week. My friend Toby Wallace died, was hit by a truck in a cycling accident earlier this week. And I've just been checking out his Facebook profile and seeing messages from all sorts of people over the years who've known Toby, and I want to share a little bit of my story of knowing Toby, and so I'm feeling pretty emotional. So if you're not comfortable with me being sad, then don't watch the rest of this, because I'm going to be real, and I'm going to tell you about some magic that happened back in the summer of '97, where I was trialling for the Cambridge University boat race, rowing, and Toby was in the squad too, and I had the pleasure to row in the same crew as Toby at an 8 at Henley Royal Regatta, which is like the Wimbledon of rowing, and it was an amazing crew. We had this ability, this unshakable self-belief, and even when we were down, even when we were being beaten, even when the other crew was ahead of us, we just kept our cool. We just worked well together, and Toby Wallace was a stroke of that boat, and we ended up winning. It was amazing. It was mind-blowing, and it was just one of the proudest days of my life to stand up on the podium with Toby and the other guys, and with Susie, and to have won that race. And 4 of us went on, myself, Toby, and the 2 Broom brothers went on to race at the National Championships 2 weeks later. And I think we partied for about a week after Nat Champs, and then thought, oh, we better go do some outings. And we had a few hot words spoken about the steering. I think at one stage I was trying to steer the boat off. If you don't know rowing, it's in a coxless 4, one of you has to steer the boat with your foot. And Toby ended up steering from the stroke seat, which is cool because it was a dead straight regatta course up in Nottingham, like a straight lane racing. And the format was like, you go through each round, because it's like there were probably about 30 crews entered from all around the country, and it was the national championships, obviously. And they seed through. You have heats and quarterfinals, semi-finals, and what they have is if you're not fast enough to make it into the next round, they have this thing called a repechage, and it's like if you weren't quite quick enough to get through directly, you get like a second chance. And I remember we did at least one of those repechages, because we weren't going that fast at that stage. The regatta was held over Saturday and Sunday, and we were students. We were there for to have a good time and to enjoy the racing, and we hadn't even booked into hotels. We were camping, and I remember we got out of bed really early on the Sunday morning for a practice outing. There was mist on the water, and none of us felt like getting up. We got out. We went out, and I was at the bow, the front end of the boat, and Toby was at stroke at the other end, and he was responsible for setting the rhythm and steering, and he did it all with a big smile. He was just a friendly guy. He's immensely tall, like 2 meters tall, and it was really good knowing that you're on the same team as Toby. It was always a really good feeling. And look, we came second in every race, and we just got faster and faster, and we just found some magic in the final, and we won. And it was mind-blowing to me. It was just the feeling of knowing that we'd beaten people who'd been to the Olympics, and Toby was an amazing athlete, and we were all pretty fit back then, and we were rowing really well together, and I just have so much gratitude to have been able to share that, and thanks to the guys, and especially to Toby, for making that possible, and being there and sharing that. And I haven't been in close touch with Toby in the years since, but I know that he's kept on being an amazing athlete, and hearing stories from all sorts of other people about crazy things like rowing across the Atlantic in a team of guys who all grew pretty fucking amazing beards in the process. And yeah, I bumped into Toby like about a year or two ago. He was doing a 24-hour mountain bike race, and we haven't been close recently. Had a different interest. Toby's kept on being an amazing athlete by all accounts, and I just got to, yeah, just feeling this sadness that he's no longer with us. And what I realised is that, you know, it's kind of like the sadness for me is you know, this guy Toby, he got out there and he lived his life. You know, he never stopped being an athlete. A lot of the guys from that era, you bump into them now and they've let it all go. They're fat and some of them are rich, but you know, it's like Toby just kept on being an athlete and doing what he wanted and had that classic Toby smile. And yeah, I just realised that the sadness I feel is at all the places in my life where I'm not living my full potential. I'm not doing what I really want to do. And I guess for me, who knows? Like, you know, I'm sure he wasn't perfect, but it seems that Toby Wallace was the kind of guy who got out there and lived his life and did what he wanted to do and without apology and stood up. And seriously, he was fucking tall. And yeah, and you know, I it's what I take from it all is it's a wake up call to me. You know, who knows when I'll go, and who knows how many more days I have left on this planet, and I just want to access some more of those places where I don't be all of myself. Does that make sense to you? Like, where is it in your life that you're not fully being all of yourself? Like, what areas of life are you not expressed in? You know, if I take anything from the passing on of an amazing guy, it's like, well, it's up to me to wake up and do, you know, do all that I want to do in life, be all that I want to be, have relationships that I want to have, sporting achievements, business achievements, you know, whatever. Toby was kind of the golden kid, the golden boy. He had it all. And, you know, I don't know what it was like on the other side, but from the outside, like, you know, he was living the life. And, yeah, Toby, thank you, my brother. Thank you for all that magic that we shared back in 1997 in that summer. And I know that you'll be missed. And yeah, I just I'm just really grateful. And just the sadness is pretty overwhelming. And yeah, it's a wake up call for me to be more of me. And yeah, I just I guess there's a big connection to hundreds and thousands of other people that you've touched, and most of them I've never met, and most of them I probably never will meet. But there's that connection through knowing you, Toby, and through the man that you were, that just the man you were that got on with life and lived it and did what you wanted to do. And you were on a lot of teams with a lot of other guys, and women loved you. And yeah, that's you're a great guy. So we miss you. And yeah, wherever you are right now, mate, just thank you. And I'm gonna sign off now and blow my nose, because yeah, I how do you wrap up a message like this? Shit, you know, what's the message? Shit, guys, you know, just don't sit around waiting. Toby never sat around and waited. He got off his ass and did stuff. He did what he wanted to do. He had a big heart, and you know, he connected with other people, and he did what he wanted to do. So get off your ass and do it. Do something today that you've been meaning to do, because you never know. Tomorrow might be too late. So do it today. Yeah, I'm out of here. Bye.